Okay, for your quiz answer document, may you please and thank you write your first and last name. And then for section number, course and section, you are in course 1406 dash, and specific for this section, it is 31009. 31009. So your first and last name, and then your course is 1406 dash 31009. May you please write it there. Then fold your answer document in half hot dog wise. And then write your name and section number again. Please and thank you. Fold it in length, hot dog wise, and then name and section number again. This is so that because when I return them to you, I'm not gonna call your name up and pass out papers. I lay them out, and that way I can lay them upside down, and you can see your name, and your grade is not out for everybody to see. So again, name and section number right here, and when you fold it, name and section again here on the back. Please and thank you. Okay? Today, of course, is going to be our first quiz. A couple of things to keep in mind. I will say over and over again throughout the entire semester, if you're thinking, it's folded. If you're finished, it's folded. If you don't know the answer, it's folded. There should be no reason that your answer document's just like out and open. By folding it, what are we trying to guarantee? Academic integrity. Yes, no cheating. Okay? We're trying to maintain the integrity of our course. So academic integrity. I'll say if you're finished, it's folding. If you're thinking, it's folded. If you don't know, it's folded. Okay? You can make notes to yourself on your answer document. You're going to get this back, and you're going to use it for each quiz. Today's quiz is going to be the first one. It does say quiz number 2, but that's because this is lab number 2.1. So it just corresponds that way. I realize you haven't taken a quiz before. Okay? Or, I mean, you have, but just not. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Okay? So we'll start that here in just a moment. But I want to remind you of some non-negotiables for the lab. And I had emailed this when I did the follow-up email on Tuesday. You cannot have open-toed shoes. No slides, no slippers, no house shoes, no Crocs, nothing along those lines. You may not have your cell phones and chargers out during lab. If you need to answer a text or call somebody or do something, just go in the hall. You're grown. I am not going to be like, what are you doing? Get back in here. It is not like that. It's just a safety thing for in lab. Okay? Same thing for food and drink. I don't want you to starve. Go in the hall and eat. Just, you can't do it in here while we're in lab. Okay? So just please make sure that we keep that solid. When we start our lab today, you will pick your lab groups. Your lab group that you work with today might not be the lab group that you're going to want the entire semester. Or you might find that you guys do work together well. And that's I hope. But I just want to be realistic. Okay? You're an adult. Work through it right now, and then we can change it if we need to. I've already had people, like, remember when I talked about being the first child? Right now, we don't know all of that from each other, because I haven't read your cards, and we haven't done all of that. On my Monday class, I already had two first kids together, and after class, she was like, he was telling me what to do, and I was like, well, we just can't have that, can we? So, you already know that there may be some clashes, and that's just natural. We're going to work through them, okay? But you will pick your own group of 3. If there needs to be a group of 4, because we have an odd out, that's fine, but you're going to work best with 3. At no point in the semester are you going to turn the lab book into me. You will not. The way I will hold you accountable for what's done in this book is through your lab exams. So if you do the lab, you usually do well. If you don't, well, you know. Okay? I have a lot of people who are like, hey, I can't stay today. I've already done it. I'm pretty good. Okay, cool. Cool. But you already know whenever you fail. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. Okay? So if you write and scribble in here or you miscalculate something, that's not a big deal. Write all over it, do whatever. You can write in pencil in this. but you're not going to turn this into me. Your lab exams will cover whether or not you've done the work in here or not. Okay? Speaking of pencil, on your quizzes and tests, it's all pen. So I didn't mention that, but that's the thing. That way, because I will give you your answer documents back with your grade on them, and I would be lying to say that no one said, what did you get? They erase it, write the right answer, and they're like, well, I got the right answer, but you marked it wrong. We're not in 6th grade anymore. We can't get away with that. So you're writing in pen for your quizzes and tests. Another aspect on the quizzes and tests, especially the ones that are open response like what we're going to do today, I do not count off for spelling. If you misspell a word, and it's like a minor misspelling, but I can figure it out, this really makes sense, number one, if you're dyslexic, or number two, if English is not your first language. And you're not only trying to learn and figure out English, but you're also now trying to figure out science language. That's fine. Misspellings are okay, and if I can figure it out, I will. But if the answer is white and you write purple, you did not misspell. You have the wrong answer. Okay? And we need to be mature enough to say, okay, maybe I had the wrong answer. You cannot say, well, you said you weren't going to take off for spelling. I didn't. I took off because you had the wrong answer. All right? So making sure that you're comfortable there, because I understand, especially in pressure situations, some of you flip out, and I don't want that. I want you to know that I do have some type of safety net for you to help you relax. Once we do get going on today's lab, we have these baskets set up over here that Susan has made for us. I should tell this to follow me. These baskets that our lab tech Susan has set up for us, she has provided you, as of yesterday, she's phenomenal, a card of everything that should be in your basket. This serves two purposes. First, to make sure that everything's in here when you pick it up and when you're finished. But second, it helps you learn the name of the materials, so when you see it on the lab exam, you know what it is. A lot of people, does anybody know what this is? Not a beaker. This is an Erlenmeyer flask. A lot of people don't know that. And then when it shows up on the exam, they write beaker or a graduated cylinder, because those are the names that they've heard before. So as you're going through these, you'll see, oh, okay, well, that's what this is. It helps you learn, so I'm grateful for it. Okay, when we get into lab, after our quiz, you'll take both of these, okay, for your lab today. Over here, I have water that's warm for you to use for the temperature. I have ice water across for you to use for the temperature. In the back are metric scales for you to use whenever you're taking mass of coffee beans. And just so you know, the coffee beans are our aquarium rocks. There's no coffee beans, it's aquarium rocks. And this is 1 pound right here, just for reference when you get to that part in the lab. So you're going to do 1 pound and figure out what it is in grams and so on. I also have a body weight scale that is over in the second lab right now, but I'll bring it over here that you will be able to use during this lab. This lab is our first lab, so we've kind of planned a little bit of extra time, okay, which is why I've taken my time today, because I know not only do you have today, but you also have Tuesday and Thursday of next week to get through it. And it's not a long lab, but I just want us to get through those kinks and get into that comfort zone so that then we can start rocking on these labs, okay? So if you get started today and only get to 2 things, that's fine. You'll sign out, and when we come back again on Tuesday, we'll be working on this same lab. Your metric assignment, which was the paper that I had emailed and said, hey, make sure you bring that to class. It was on the lab handouts to turn in. It has you convert a lot of metrics. When you're confident with your answers, you can check them with your group, or if you don't want to check them with your group, and I had a student earlier today said, I just Googled them all. All right, whatever. That's fine, I guess. You still have to be able to do it on test, but whatever. There's a link on eCampus that says metric quiz. You click on that, and the paper you printed is your actual quiz. So if you've already answered it all and you've got them right, you just put the right answers in and you're done. Okay? And so I want to make sure to cover that as well. Any questions? Something that I may not have covered. All right. Very well. So we are going to clear everything off as we get ready for this quiz.